wait until it looks at 10:30. Just wait until 10:30, that's all. Right? Okay. Oh, let's go. All right, if everybody would please take their seats, and we'll do our opening music. We are all friends here, so if you're willing and able, please stand. We are all friends here. There are no strangers once you walk inside that door. We welcome you to enter in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. We're all friends here. There are no strangers once you walk inside that door. We welcome you to enter in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. And Reverend Ken will give the blessing.
Okay, why don't we join for our community blessing. Together, love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And we are blessed. Well, as Peggy said, welcome to Unity Church in Reading. And let's join in prayer. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can also be seated. Divine Spirit, we give thanks for this opportunity to be together today. We hold in our hearts the opening of our divine Spirit in our heart and in our minds. We join together in the oneness of lifting up our hearts. We sit together in knowing that we are open to love, and we share that love with everyone that comes forth into the sanctuary. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I would like to have Peggy come forward and light our Christ candle. And as she lights our Christ candle, let us bless it together. We light this candle to remind us that the light of Christ lives within each one of us. I am the light of Christ. And we are blessed. And now, let's do our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who is everywhere present, wholeness is your name. Your kingdom is come. Your will is being done in earth as it is in heaven. You give us this day and every day our daily bread. And you forgive us as we forgive. You leave us not in temptation, for you deliver us from error. For you are the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And now let's join in our joy song. Follow the instructions on the screen. Please stand if you're able and willing. I stand.
Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new year now. So let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace, I am a stand for peace, let there be love. I am a stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
We are truly making a new world now. And now if I could ask Al to come forward for our daily word.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just cannot say thank you enough, especially to those of you who might be joining us outside of the church, wherever you might be. We welcome you to join us in the daily word and the special thoughts it expresses. Gosh, today for me is a very special daily word, and something that I call on, I think, every day in my life. And I think, let's share these special words. The theme is guidance, and the affirmation is divine wisdom helps me discover my unique spiritual path. Let's try it again, all together. Divine wisdom helps me discover my unique special path. Tending to my spiritual life keeps me attentive to the whispers of my heart and in tune with my guidance. I am grateful for those moments I can rely upon my spiritual intuition to discern my path forward. But sometimes my guidance feels far away and hard for me to access on my own. At those times, I may seek the assistance of my trusted friends and advisors. I may seek the wise counsel of my minister or a spiritual counselor who encourages me to discover the wisdom found in the depths of my own consciousness. She, he, or they pray with me, listen with empathy, and share my joy as my innate wisdom leads me along my unique spiritual path. I am grateful for those who walk the path alongside me. These thoughts are inspired from John 14th chapter, 26th verse. But the advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I have said to you.
So it's now time to do our meditation, and I invite you to close your eyes and enter the silence in your heart. Thank you.
meditation is now finished. When you are ready, take a deep breath and open your eyes. And now we will have our community prayer. I invite you to send love and peace and prosperity to your friends and families by bringing them into our sanctuary. Let us say their names aloud together. And then let us bring ourselves into this prayer by saying our own names together. So we enfold all of these names and prayers along with the prayers in our prayer box, the prayers at Silent Unity that are being said, and the prayers that will come to our mind later today. Amen. And now it's time for celebration song, Blessing to the World. So I invite you to stand.
I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hand, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. Is a blessing to the world.
And now Reverend Ken will present the message. Right.
The message. The message. You know, today is a special day as we celebrate our White Stone ceremony. But what am I saying? Every day is a special day. Every day is a special day that we can allow ourselves to be more of who we truly are. Each morning we should embrace the beginning of the rest of our lives. But what do we owe this in-between world? We came from spirit, and we'll return to spirit. But we're on a journey through this human existence. You've heard that we are spirits having a human experience. This is an opportunity to learn and to remember and to practice who we truly are. This is an opportunity to be the best we can be in this life. To be the best that we can be. You know, over our time here, we have learned by things that work for us and things that work not to our best and highest self. We have grown in our ego thinking, doing what works best for us. We've learned it. So when someone says, well, you're whole and complete, we know they're talking about our spiritual being, that our spiritual being is whole and complete. But what about this in-between world? We're also whole. We're complete. We're completely made up of everything we've learned and everything we do. If I want to be more loving in my life, or more caring, what do I need to do? Well, first thing I have to do is to remove the barriers that I've placed in myself for being loving or caring. I have to release. I have to let go of those things within my own life before I can ever move forward in being the best I can be. Often, when people start this journey in metaphysical science, they say, well, I want to envision my highest self. And that's all well and good. We want to vision what we want to be. But the thing that often is missed is the first step, is to identify those things that keep us from attaining what we want. And we have to get rid of them. We have to let them go. And that's what we kind of did last week. We had our burning bowl ceremony, where we identified something within ourselves we would like to release and let go of. Something that was not who we wanted to be. Maybe that was holding us back, making us less than we remember ourselves to be. Well, I know when I think about how this works, I often think about things within my own life. And one of the things I like to think about is my weight. And I can immediately see myself as being a thin me. I can see myself losing weight, but I don't remove the reasons why I'm the weight I am. I keep eating candy before bed, or a second dessert while I watch TV. There's things that I've set up that are standing in my way of being the weight I want to be. And that's true for all of us. Because we have learned our characteristics of who we are and what we wanted to do, good or bad, but we can change them. We don't have to accept unless we choose to. That's true for our divine will. God has given us the ability to be our highest and best. Or we can choose not to. We've been given that authority here on earth. Well, today we're going to accept our new name. Now, what does that mean? Well, our white stones were mined in the Holy Land, just outside of Hebron. And on them, we're going to place what we want to focus on in this new year. Renaming ourselves for what we want. Then during the week, I'm going to review it and recommit to doing what I want to do. Sounds a lot like a New Year's resolution, doesn't it? That's why it comes at the first of the year. It gives us an opportunity to focus on this life and knowing that we are in a new life. We're in a new year. And if we choose, we can change who we are. If we don't like something we've been doing, choose again. I always liked an example that was given to me when I was a young manager, and it was in decision making. When you would get a group together and you would make a decision, and it often went something like this: where do you guys want to go to dinner? Oh, I don't care. Well, where do you want to go? Oh, I don't care. Well, where everybody wants? Well, I've heard there's a place over in Abilene. Well, okay, if you want to go to Abilene. Well, I don't really care. Where do you want to go? Well, Abilene sounds okay. And everybody ends up going to Abilene to eat dinner when nobody wanted to go to Abilene to eat dinner. But no one was willing to say something. And that's often what we do with ourselves. We know we would like to change, and we say, maybe tomorrow, or now's not the right time. And we're going to continually be given opportunities to remember our divine self, to be who we truly are spiritual, to move forward into that life in this in-between world, to be the best we can be. We can choose that. And today is that opportunity. You know, a few years back, my daughter did something, and I felt totally wounded. I didn't know if we would ever reconcile. And then I went through the issue of the burning bowl. And I said, okay, what is it that I want to let go of? And what I wanted to let go of was judgment. Because that's what got me where I was. And what was my white stone? It was forgiveness. Because that's who I wanted to become. I wanted to be forgiving. I'd already given away judgment, but we know that in this life of who we are, if we remove something, what happens? If we don't replace it, it just comes back. Going back to my weight loss issues. If I don't change what I'm doing, what's going to happen 3 years from now? I'm going to be the same weight or more. Because I didn't change and let go of what was keeping me from it. I just let it come back in my life. And that's often what we do. We can say we don't want something, but we don't change to make sure it doesn't reoccur. Well, the burning bowl. Now, on this Sunday, we're doing our white stone ceremony. So when you get your white stone, think about what it is that you really want in your life. And then throughout the week, revisit it. And do the little things that are required on that journey. Whether it be love or caring or openness, willingness, whatever you choose for yourself. The follow through and the choice is what we need to do in our lives. Why is this? Because we're in the in-between world. We're spirits having a human existence. The key is, sometimes we forget who we truly are. And today, we have that opportunity to add a characteristic of who we truly want to remember who we are. And it's ours to accept. It's ours to do if we have that willingness. So I would like now for the ushers to come forward and give out our white stones. There's also a slip with them that talks about the white stone itself and where it was quarried. And this quarry, they've been taking white stone from since the time of Jesus. So it's an old quarry, and they continue to mine white stone from it. And so the little cards are just a little indicator of where it comes from and what it's for. You go ahead and pass it out. And when you get it, feel it. Feel the smoothness of it. Feel the contour. Feel its whiteness. And then think about the characteristic, your new name, who you want to be in this new year? What do you want to focus on? What has been just slightly out of reach for this life as a human? And then go ahead and take the pen out of the chair in front of you and write that name on your white stone. Now, if it's a long name, you might have to write it smaller. If it's a small name, front and back, that's right. And take some time and write down what trait that you would like to work on each day to bring forth the spirit you're meant to be. And the nice thing about this is as you review it during the week and during the weeks and during the months ahead, I keep my white stone on my desk, and I see it almost every day. And it's a reminder of what I've chosen. And when I slip and fall, I can choose again. I can get up and start my journey over. I can be the new me. And if nothing comes to you while you're here, take it home. Pray over it. And let it be your words of the wisdom of the future. So when everyone's ready, let's hold that white stone in your hand. Feel the energy that you're radiating through that white stone. The choices you've made, the direction you intend to go. You are blessed on this journey. And we each hold for each other the success of finding this oneness that is ours by divine inheritance. For truly being whole and complete, loving, joyful, prosperous is our divine right. And we give thanks for this white stone, the hands that brought it to us, but more, the hearts that made it possible. For we are one in spirit. We are one in this journey through this in-between world, from spirit to spirit. And we give thanks. And so it is. All right, now would be a great time for a song, but we're not going to do a song. We're going to have other music, and it's called the offertory. So let us bring out our offerings, and let's hold them together, and let's bless them, because they are also who we are. As we give, we also receive. So let's bless our offering together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Abundance. Thank you, Nancy. And now, before we bless our offerings, let's do our Unity Church in Reading consciousness statement. And let's say it together. Divine order is now manifesting in every phase of this ministry through its demanding prosperity, attendance, and by being a light on the path for others. And so it is. Divine Spirit, we give thanks for this offering. We know that it flows forth from love and from joy. And as it comes through the portals of prosperity to Unity Church in Reading, we hold that transparency of love and let it go forth to do the work of this congregation in love, in harmony, and in peace. And so it is. Well, now's the time for our announcements. Now, something's happening, which I don't know quite what it is. We're going through the time really quickly. Now, I don't know if it's because Carolyn's not here. No, maybe she's our verbose one. Hopefully everyone has something to do after church. And they were actually looking at the clock to make sure we would get out on time.
Karen's really excited.
Well, first of all, we thank all of our volunteers. We thank Shelba, we thank Jerry, we thank Janice, we thank Nancy, Peggy for singing, and each and every one of you for coming. And with that, one thing we didn't do last week was we didn't.
And you do.
Yes, and what was your name again? I looked right. I looked right over his head. But Al.
He's still in France or something.
Yeah, he's still in a time delay. But the thing we didn't do last week is we didn't celebrate birthdays. So, does anybody have a birthday in January? That's probably why we didn't do it. January, yeah. Well, let's sing a birthday greeting to all of our January birthdays. Just a second. I'm springing it on Nancy.
Yeah, okay. Keys here, okay. Alright, so I have a birthday, I just had a birthday.
Birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear birthday, happy birthday to you. And many more, yes. Well, let's see, our office will be open from 10 to 4 this coming week. There is a board meeting on Tuesday, so if you would like anything brought up for the board, you can talk to Jerry, or you can talk to Kay, or you can talk to myself, Nancy, our board members that are here. And if you needed prayer, you can always see me or Carolyn before service. Since she's not here, you can see me after service. We still have our noon meditation in the sanctuary during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at noon. So you can either come in person if you're out running around and doing errands. It's a good way to set the condition of the afternoon. Or you can call in by phone and join us for a phone meditation. You can also check the bulletin board for this week's AA meetings. And Lori Euler's class, The Way of the Heart, will begin on January the 13th, and it will be held on the first and third Thursdays from 1 to 3 throughout 2022. And this is a class that, while it would be nice for you to be there every week, every other week, you can join any time and just come in as it's available to you. We also are planning an Android class. Everyone remembers before the pandemic began, we had a monthly class for Androids and iPhones. And we're trying to do a Android class on Tuesday, and it's kind of a hybrid. The state hasn't allowed their people to start doing in-person training. So they come across the computer, and it'll be up on the wall, and they will do their class virtually, and then somebody who has been trained will actually be the on-site facilitator. So we'll have somebody actually here to do the hands-on help, but it just will not be a state employee with the Public Utilities Commission, I think it's with. And it's at 9:30. But the key is, because it's a state offering, you have to be registered with the state. So if you are planning, you have to get with me so I can give you how to register, or we can register on the internet here. We're also planning a new members class, and that's going to be for January the 16th. It's about a 1.5-hour class. And if you've been thinking about coming into membership, I know a lot of people say, well, I'm not a joiner, I attend. And the benefit of being a member is that you get your very own prayer chaplain. And that person then calls you once a month as a wellness call, and you kind of have someone that you can pray with at your leisure.
You only call once a month?
Does it feel like I call more often?
It does. Thank goodness. Yes. It feels like I call every other week.
We keep who prayer chaplains are, who their prayer chaplain person is private, but you can tell that Karen is on my list. So. Thank you, Karen. We're also going to do a leadership class, and that's going to be January the 30th to February the 13th. So there will be 3 1-hour classes after church, and it's basically to prepare those people that would like to be considered for the board of directors, because we have 2 open places that will be voted on for our in our new membership, in our new annual meeting in March. And also, if you have any interest in volunteering for other things, you'll kind of learn a little bit about what the clerical support does and what our sound team does and all of the other teams that we have within Unity Church in Reading. So if you have interest in doing things within the church, you might want to think about attending those classes January the 30th it begins. And the most important thing is that we look forward to seeing you again next week. And if for any reason you can't attend, we do have our magic camera that live streams us on Facebook. So at 10:30 on Sunday, you can also join us on Facebook. And then after that, it goes to YouTube. So if on a Tuesday you would like a little uplifting sound of Peggy singing, you could go onto our YouTube and see our service live, what would be live, see our service on YouTube. Anything coming from the floor?
I just really want to encourage anybody that really needs, as I do, the Android class to please sign up for that. If we don't get 4 people, it doesn't fly.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Fly. So,
Yeah.
I need it. I don't know
Is
about
it
the rest.
next, what Tuesday is it?
This coming
It's
Tuesday.
coming Tuesday.
9:30.
9:30.
Well, you have to register. Can we do
He's gonna
that?
help you.
Yes,
Do we do that today?
we can.
Do we have to do it before the class?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Or I'm sure we can do it the morning of, but if it's pre-done, then we don't have that to do
Okay.
at the time.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll do it.
Thank you, Nancy. We need 2 more. Come on, people.
Actually, 2 might be enough.
What is the actual,
What do they do?
yeah, what are you gonna want?
This one is an Android. There also is an iClass. So this is strictly for the Android, and they basically talk about how you get it linked to the internet, how you change everything, settings on it for volume, for connectivity, for doing contacts. You know, it's kind of a general class to make you more familiar with a particular phone. Thing that I didn't know, because I've only had Androids, and I've had them since they first came out. I was real surprised that no 2 Androids work together, even though they may have the same operating system. Because each maker makes their own proprietary of how things work. So if you had a Samsung, then it's going to operate slightly different than a Galaxy might, or a Cellular, which is always interesting. And that's why they have the class, and they show videos of what things look like. So if somebody says, well, you want to change your, like if you're in a service and you don't want it to ring, well, how do you silence your ring? And they'll show you how to go to that and how to select that.
And how to turn it on, and basic things.
Yep, and basic things.
And programming against.
Phone.
Yes.
Yep, so they'll do all of
Who is
that.
sponsoring it?
Say again?
Who is sponsoring it?
It is the Public Utilities Commission, their phone that does the hearing impaired, and the big phones that allow people that can't hear or see, can't hear, both.
Along those lines, I think it's the same group that's in this complex.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important. They service people who come in for support 4 times a month. And you can get free phones that are useful for those who are either hard of hearing or visually impaired. And it's the 14th of this month is the next week.
That they'll physically be open.
You can go into their store and they will take the time to help you select a phone for free. It's a state program.
Yep. Okay. Why don't I ask Peggy to come back up and help close this up?
I invite everyone to sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. It's our last song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, and we all are free. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy and sound. Take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, Peggy. And now for our prayer of protection. And remember the pause so that Diana can share with us. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We embrace that power.
The presence of God watches over us.
We live our lives in God's presence.
Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. And we are blessed. Thank you for being here. God bless, and we'll see you next week.